Hey guys, Tank with Fox Airsoft here, and today's video is going to cover the MP5 series and similar guns. So the MP5 is made by H&K, and in Airsoft, that's primarily going to be through Elite Force and Umarex, although there are some clones out there that this could apply to. Okay, so let's get started. So your MP5 is your average small submachine gun type platform, and starting from the tip here, you'll see on this Elite Force gun, you'll see a 14mm thread and this kind of like tri-lug thing here. So these are known as a tri-lug. That will allow you to mount certain types of mock suppressors. Otherwise, you can direct thread to this 14mm counterclockwise thread. Moving to the handguard, if the MP5 you have is not equipped with a full stock, then typically the battery will be housed inside the handguard here. So typically you're gonna push a pin out and then take that out, and then the handguard should slide forward ever so slightly and then tilt out. This gun is fused and has a MOSFET here, so you have to be careful when you put the battery on, how to route that battery and not crush the wires. Typically you'll be using the 9.6 volt nunchuck or similar type of Lipo, tri-panel, dual panel, that'll work. The pin has a tiny spring in it, so you just gotta make sure that it's slightly depressed as it goes in, but it should lock and not come out on its own unless it's worn out. Next, you have the ever popular charging handle here. On the steel bodied guns, like maybe this VFC made Elite Force gun or maybe some LCT type clones, this is steel, so you can mess around with that without worrying about breaking it. But if you have anything that's made of cast or maybe plastic, then you probably shouldn't be playing with this too much, because a lot of people like to imitate that famous HK slap. That is normally done as part of the loading process in the real gun, has no bearing or function in the airsoft gun. So don't treat it like a fidget spinner, just handle with care. When you pull the charging handle back, on some models, that might open the chamber here. On the Sportline type guns, that might be molded closed, so you won't see anything move. On this Proline gun here, which is the VFC, it reveals a slide lever for the hop-up adjustment. On the Sportline guns, you may find an external lever on the left-hand side that manipulates the hop-up. The magazine release is a paddle type, so you have a paddle here for you to thumb. And to insert, you just insert straight in. Slight angle. For redundancy, you also have a button here, which is kind of hard to reach unless you have really large hands, so they both activate the paddle, or the same mechanism, I should say. Then up here, you have this little notch here. It's made for the scope rail. This takes a proprietary HK claw mount type of scope rail. NC Star and a couple people make some inexpensive options if you want to mount a modern optic on it. You have a hooded front sight and a adjustable diopter rear. These are very simple combat sights or CQB sights, so you're not going to get a lot of precision or range out of them, but it's meant for quick snap shooting. Next, you have the lower receiver here. On some guns, this might be ambidextrous. Some guns, it might not. This gun features safe, semi, and full auto. Now, this is the collapsing stock model. So you'll have kind of like this triangle thing here that you hit. It's a lever or latch that you push all the way and then pull out. And the HK stocks don't really have many positions compared to an AR stock, so just one position typically. Your other option would be the full stock models, which are going to be retained by the same kind of push pin in the rear, and the battery will typically be housed in the full stock models, and you may or may not have a cover on the back plate to remove to access that, or you might have to remove the whole stock in the case of the VFC. And these will typically feature the same version 2 gearbox that's in the M4 series, so you can upgrade those accordingly. And then for my astute pupils out there, you'll see this is a G3, which is basically the big brother to the MP5. It's like same in terms of how it's handled, except it fires bigger bullets. In Airsoft, they all fire the same. So the magazine's much bigger. In this case, you rock it in as opposed to inserting it straight in. The same controls are there, so the magazine release should be very familiar if you're already used to the MP5. The charging handle will be kind of like a latch that locks, and then you can pull it back, and typically you can access the hop-up. If you have the collapsing stock version, which is rare, the battery will be stored in the handguard here. If you have the full stock version, is the battery in the full stock version? Hey,
what's up, Tank?
Hey, Josh. Quick question for you on LCT G3s. Is the full stock model going to have the battery wired to the rear?
Yes, sir. As far as I know, all of the G3 models have their all are wired to the rear except for the collapsible stock models. I fit the ASG tri-panels in there pretty easy.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. There you have it. So for the LCTs, it does go through the back. If you have a TM clone or something similar like what I have, and it's the full stock model, it's going to be wired to the rear. Okay, that does it for us with the MP5 basics video. If you like this video or want to see some other platforms covered that we didn't cover already, be sure to leave that comment below. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And by the way, the contest for this MP5 is about to end. We're going to give this away at the end of the year, so be sure to sign up. It's free for you guys in the US or Canada, so sign up, eh? All right, so that does it for me. I will catch you guys in the next video.